Good evening. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Mayor and City Council of the City of College Park. I'm Mayor Bianca Motley Broom, missing my name tag, but the last name is Motley Broom. Confusion is acceptable, disrespect is not. And so we have a full quorum with council members McKenzie, Karn, Arnold, and Gay. And so I will call the meeting to order at this time at 7:35 p.m. with the continuing objections to Ordinance 2024-01 and the omnibus motion passed by this body in January. So we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sure. Who's doing our invocation this evening? I did not get a text message about that. I usually do. Chaplain Walker.
Good evening.
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 Let us pray. Oh, Heavenly Father, as we gather, may we gather under the names of faith, hope, and love, as well as life, liberty, and the pursuit of justice. We give you thanks, O Lord, for the opportunity to be together, to struggle, to share our ideas, express our concerns, and find a way to work together in faith, hope, and love. We give a special thanks for our mayor and our city councilmen. Quicken their minds, quicken their hearts, so they can lead us in order to do the work that needs to be done for the city of College Park. Bless all those, especially, who serve and labor for College Park. Everyone is of supreme importance. So let us continue in honor and love and concern for one another. Amen.
Amen.
Mayor, the next item on the agenda is the civility pledge, which is on the screen, and I invite the mayor, council, and the members of the community to read this along with me. The way we govern ourselves is often as important as the positions we take. Our collective decisions will be better than differing views we have had the opportunity to be fully vetted and considered. All people have the right to be treated with respect, courtesy, and openness. We value all input. We commit to conduct ourselves at all times with civility and courtesy to each other. We have an announcement from the Deputy Chief.
Greetings, Mayor and Council, citizens and community stakeholders of College Park. While we appreciate the attendance, input, and interest in the City of College Park Council meetings, the laws for public meetings will be enforced with law and order as we all conduct ourselves accordingly within the law and the civility pledge in mind. Thank you.
Additions, deletions, amendment, or changes to the agenda?
Dr. Asdieri?
Minutes for August the 9th, I need that thing removed because it's been further reviewed.
I'm sorry.
J.
Item J.
Special call meeting minutes dated August the 9th.
19th.
I think that's I.
Is it,
It's item I, it's the
I mean,
special.
I, excuse me, I, instead of I. Yeah.
I have a change.
Councilmember McKenzie?
I'd like to remove item 8H from the consent agenda.
All right.
I have a change as well.
Councilmember Arnold?
I would like to move item D on the regular agenda to the consent agenda.
I'm sorry, which item was that?
D.
Item G,
D as in dog.
D as in dog. Thank you. And you're wanting those both to be moved to the regular agenda, just so that I'm clear?
I would like D to be moved to the consent agenda.
9D.
Yeah.
9D. 8D will be moved to consent, or, oh, item 9D to be consent.
I have an objection to that. I'd like for it to remain on the regular business agenda for discussion.
Well,
And I have an objection.
um, so we've got removal of item 4I. Removal of item 8H to regular business.
Yes, ma'am.
And I have an objection to that.
And item 9D to the consent agenda. I'd also like to move item 8F to regular business. The agenda packet doesn't reflect that there were additional quotes. I think there probably were, but it doesn't reflect that.
City Attorney,
Yes, sir.
we got a lot of items here. I also had an item I wanted to remove from the consent agenda, but I think we need to vote on each individual item so that there's no misunderstanding.
It's me. I'm the presiding officer,
No, I'm speaking to the city attorney.
but I run the meeting. So that,
Understood.
so what I'm saying
my
is that if you
suggestion-
want to remove something, let me know. And I was getting there. I was going to deal with them one by one. I'm covering it. Just let me run the meeting. So which item would you like removed?
It's gonna be item, let's see, 8E. Removing that from the consent agenda.
Councilman Carn, you're wanting to move that to the regular business part of the agenda, or are you wanting to remove it altogether?
We can move it to regular business.
Thank you, sir, for the clarification.
Oh, I'm sorry. We can move it to the regular agenda. That was item.
Sir, it's not a back and forth. Councilmember Carn was talking about item 8E.
Is that a little better? Can everybody hear me okay now? I'm sorry, this mic wasn't close enough. Apologies.
Okay, so I've got item 4I removing from the agenda, 8H moving to regular business, 9D to the consent agenda, 8F to regular business, and 8E to regular business.
Madam Mayor, there was an objection to moving item 9D to the consent agenda.
I'm going to handle them all individually. So in regard to 4I, removing it from the agenda, is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous. Item 8 H, which is consideration of an action to approve the drone flight training FAA certification education extension program, moving that to regular business. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Councilmember Gay, what is your vote?
Abstain.
All right, so Councilmember Gay is abstained, so Councilmembers McKenzie and Carn are in favor. Councilmember Arnold is opposed, and so that motion passes. 8H will move to regular business. We will put it at 9E as an echo.
I'm sorry, Madam Mayor, can we move that to the beginning of the regular agenda, since we do have students who have to be in school tomorrow?
Thank you for pointing
Thank
that
you.
out. We'll move it to 9A. Item 9D, to the consent agenda, that is discussion, consideration, and action on a request regarding the addition of a license plate reader and cameras for Ward 3. Is there a motion to move that to the consent agenda?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Is there a second? Motion dies for lack of a second, so that will remain item 9D. Item 8F, which is consideration of an action on a request to lease purchase 2 Heil half-pack front CY front loaders in the amount of $771,830 to replace units 445 and 446. Moving that to regular business. Is there a motion? That does not pass, so it will remain on the consent agenda. And item 8E, consideration of an action on a contract for the annual professional financial audit service provider contract, moving that to regular business. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
All right, so Councilmembers McKenzie, Carn, and Gay are in favor. Councilmember Arnold abstains, and so that item 8E will be moved to regular business. It will be item 9F, because everything else has been bumped down, Madam Clerk, and so,
Yes, ma'am.
all right, 9F. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That is unanimous.
Madam Mayor, the first item under presentation of minutes to the City Council is the budget session minutes dated May 13th, 2024.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That is unanimous.
Item 4B is budget session minutes dated May 14th, 2024.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That is unanimous.
Item 4C is budget session minutes dated May 15th, 2024.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second? Motion dies for lack of a second.
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Item 4D is budget session minutes dated May 16th, 2024.
Is there a motion?
Moved.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. That is unanimous.
Item 4E is workshop minutes dated June 17th, 2024.
Is there a motion?
Motion with discussion.
I always call for it. Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Councilmember McKenzie?
Okay, line 27, well, it's got a few lines, but we can start with line 2117. Brandy Hurd's name is not spelled H-U-R-D, it is H-E-A-R-D. So I'd like to have her name, the proper spelling for her name, H-E-A-R-D, corrected on line 2117, line 2132, line 2137, line 2144, line 2149, line 2152, line 2155, and line 2158, H-E-A-R-D.
Thank you.
Also, I have some more. Okay. This is very, very confusing in the minutes. Line 3362, it says Councilwoman McKenzie left the room at 12:43 a.m., but then it says Councilwoman McKenzie returned. 3564 says Councilwoman McKenzie returned at 12:45. But then it says Councilwoman McKenzie left on 3569 at 12:54. I don't know who that was. I left at 12:43 a.m. I did not come back at 12:45 a.m. And then it says 3596 that I returned at 1:16 a.m. It should be 3362 is correct, that I left the room at 12:43 a.m. 3596 is correct, that I returned at 1:16 a.m. I have no idea who it was who returned and left those other lines.
Councilwoman McKenzie, the last item when you said you returned at 1:16 a.m., can I get that line item number again, please?
Yes, that was line 3596.
Thank you very much.
So I think we need to strike 3564 and 3569.
Thank you.
And that's all I have for June 17.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
I do have a clarification. I gave the information for a regular meeting, not the workshop, so maybe that's, everything I just gave right now was item F, not item E. Or have we already done item E?
That was item E, was it not?
It was item E. I'll make a note to make those changes on item F.
Thank you,
That
ma'am.
pleases the council.
Yes, I just wanted to stop us before we voted on item E. Okay, thank you.
I believe that was unanimous.
Yes, ma'am. Item 4F is regular meeting minutes dated June 17th, 2024.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Clarification.
Is there a second? Motion dies for lack of a second.
Okay, I have a question. I just gave I gave the corrections for item F. So we should be voting on item E right now, because we just voted on item F.
No,
I have
we voted on
a
item
vote.
E.
Sorry, I have a vote for item E, where you made a motion with the corrections to lines 117, 2132, 2137, 2144, 2149, 2152, 2155, 2158 for the correction of Heard to be spelled H-E-A-R-D, and that was approved by all. And then we did clarify that what you had given me regarding line items 3362 and 3596 were correct, but 3564 and 3569 for the minutes under F, we were going to go ahead and move those down for that correction. And I
Okay,
did
so
make that.
basically F, we just now agree, okay. So F was changed to E. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay, I gave the corrections for F.
We were on E.
Right, you were on E, but I gave F. So all my corrections were for item F, not item E.
So all of them fall under,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, thank you.
Yeah,
That's
that's-
good
yeah.
clarification for me.
Yeah, that's why I stopped the vote, because I was saying that I actually gave item F when it should have been, okay. So now we have not voted on item E.
Item E was voted
The
on.
item E was voted on.
When?
But-
Just-
Well,
It just happened.
The corrections were inadvertently designated for item.
Okay, I just heard
8F.
item F just now and not item E.
That's correct, because the item that was before the council was item E, is my understanding. So I have made a note that the items that Councilwoman McKenzie gave as corrections should be under item F.
Okay,
So if it pleases the council, if you want to make a motion to make the corrections as stated by Councilmember McKenzie when we were discussing item E, which has been voted on, then I will move those to item F and make those corrections under the minutes for item F, and then we can continue to move forward. So Councilmember Carn, my understanding is that you have the current first, but you just said to motion to approve. Will you make that motion
Right, well,
with the corrections that
we'll-
Councilwoman
we'll-
McKenzie made?
We'll modify that motion. I modify my motion to make the corrections in proper minutes, which would be 8F.
Perfect.
All right.
Is there a second?
second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Item 4G is workshop minutes dated August 5th, 2024.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That is unanimous.
Item 4H is regular meeting minutes dated August 5th, 2024.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That is unanimous.
New item I, which was formerly item J, workshop minutes dated August 19th, 2024.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That is unanimous.
Former item K, currently item J on the agenda, regular meeting minutes dated August 19th, 2024.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilmember McKenzie?
Okay, line 176 says unknown speaker. That unknown speaker was Michael Broom. Michael Broom. 176.
Regular meeting minutes from August 19th.
Oh, that was August 9th, excuse me. Oh, we didn't do August 9th, okay. All right, my mistake. I have it written down as 19. Okay, it's on my paper as 19. Okay.
Is there any discussion regarding the regular meeting minutes from August 19th?
No.
Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That is unanimous.
The next item on the agenda are proclamations, resolutions, plaques, and announcements. The first item is the Employee of the Month for August.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The employee joined the City of College Park in April 2020 and has proven to be an incredible asset to our team and shows exceptional dedication. She consistently goes above and beyond, working tirelessly with our vendors to optimize services that benefit the city. Her commitment ensures that we receive the best possible support and resources positively impacting our city. She is always ready to lend a helping hand to her colleagues, whether it's answering questions or providing support. She's there whenever needed, embodying the spirit of teamwork and collaboration. Her hard work does not go unnoticed, and we are proud to have her on our team. She is a true leader and team player who exemplifies our core values. The All-Star of the month of August is Ms. Kanika Shrivastava.
They were running them up behind. I think. That's like this one. Look that good right there. On three. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3. Last time, 1, 2, and 3. Perfect.
We like to celebrate anniversaries around here, and there's an awful big one going on across the street. Woodward Academy is celebrating 125 years. Whereas Woodward Academy, originally founded as the Georgia Military Academy in 1899, has served as a pillar of education excellence and leadership in Georgia for 125 years, evolving from its early days as a military preparatory school into one of the largest independent day schools in the continental United States. And whereas Woodward Academy was established in College Park, Georgia by Ernest Woodward to provide a rigorous academic and military education for young men with the mission of developing strong character, discipline, and leadership skills. And whereas the school's founding in College Park marked the beginning of a legacy deeply rooted in the community, where generations of families have trusted Woodward Academy to provide their children with a well-rounded education that emphasizes both intellectual and personal growth. And whereas the Georgia Military Academy transitioned into Woodward Academy in 1966, reflecting its broadened mission to educate both young men and women in an inclusive environment that values diversity, academic excellence, and the development of global citizens. And whereas the school's commitment to service, leadership, and community engagement has had a lasting impact on College Park and the greater Atlanta area, fostering partnerships that enhance educational opportunities and community well-being. And whereas Woodward Academy has cultivated a rich tradition of diversity and inclusivity, celebrating the unique talents and perspectives of each student and promoting a culture of understanding, collaboration, and service. And whereas Woodward Academy has consistently upheld its core values of honor, excellence, and respect, shaping leaders who have made significant contributions to society in various fields, including government, business, arts, sciences, and sports. And whereas Woodward Academy has been a cornerstone of the community, building enduring partnership with families, alumni, faculty, and local organizations, all contributing to the school's legacy of excellence. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and City Council of the City of College Park that we do hereby recognize and honor Woodward Academy's 125th anniversary. We celebrate the school's remarkable history, commend its unwavering commitment to educational excellence, and express our deepest appreciation for its continued dedication to shaping future generations of leaders. Proclaim this 3rd day of September, 2024. Want to see anything? Oop.
Sure. Which way should I face you?
Well, first of all, Madam Mayor, members of council, residents of the City of College Park, We are incredibly grateful for this recognition. 125 years of educational excellence right up the street, and we are grateful for the partnership with the City of College Park and all that you've done to support our mission. On behalf of President Stuart Gully, our 650 employees, our 2,726 students, and over 12,000 alumni, we're incredibly grateful for that relationship. Thank you.
All right, group on three. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3. Last time. 1, 2, and 3.
We are recognizing and celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. Whereas each year from September 15th to October 15th, the United States observes Hispanic Heritage Month, a time to recognize and celebrate the rich cultural heritage, history, and contribution of Hispanic and Latino Americans. Whereas the Hispanic and Latino communities have played a vital role in shaping the cultural, social, and economic fabric of our nation, bringing vibrant traditions, languages, and a strong sense of community to the American mosaic. Whereas Hispanic Americans have made significant contributions across all sectors of society, including government, business, science, education, the arts, sports, and the military, often overcoming adversity to achieve excellence and drive progress. Whereas the influence of Hispanic culture is deeply woven into history of the United States, from the early exploration and settlement of the Americas to the present, where Hispanic and Latino communities continue to enrich our society with their diverse perspectives and enduring traditions. Whereas Hispanic Heritage Month provides an opportunity to honor the generations of Hispanic Americans who have worked tirelessly to build a brighter future for all and to celebrate the enduring spirit, resilience, and achievements of the Hispanic community. Whereas this month also serves as a reminder of the importance of fostering unity, inclusivity, and understanding among all people, as we recognize the shared values that bring us together as one nation. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and City Council of the City of College Park that we do hereby proclaim September 15th to October 15th as Hispanic Heritage Month in the City of College Park, Georgia. We encourage all residents to join in celebrating the rich history, culture, and contributions of Hispanic and Latino Americans, and to participate in events and activities that honor their legacy. Let us take this opportunity to reflect on the significant impact of Hispanic Americans in our communities and to commit to continuing the work of promoting equity, justice, and inclusion for all. Proclaim this third day of September, 2024. One of our favorites. You want to say anything? Okay, all right. Well, we've got Sergeant Paniagua here, who... Sorry? No, you said you didn't want to say anything.
No, I'm good.
But we are just so grateful for the contributions in our city, and thank you so much for being here to accept the proclamation. You're up here a lot, you know, former All-Star who's been on the billboard, but come on, thank you.
All right, group on three. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3. Perfect.
I'm going to ask Mario Malcolm to come on down. This is, Attorney Brian couldn't be here tonight, but Mario's going to receive it on his behalf. And this reads, City of College Park Proclamation recognizing Brian D. Granville. Whereas Brian D. Granville an esteemed attorney and founding partner of the Granville Group law firm, has been serving the College Park community from its historic district since 2008, providing exemplary legal representation in civil and personal injury litigation, criminal defense, business transaction, and probate and estate planning. And whereas Mr. Granville has dedicated over 22 years to the legal profession, representing thousands of clients, securing several $1 million in settlements and verdicts, and providing unwavering support to those wrongfully injured due to the negligence of others. And whereas Brian Granville's commitment to outstanding client service and his belief in transforming dreams into tangible results have set a standard of excellence within the legal community. And whereas Mr. Granville's heart for service is evident through his philanthropic efforts, including his annual toy drive, which benefits over 1,000 children, and his annual scholarship fund, which has provided thousands of dollars to deserving students. And whereas in 2024, this is the part I love, Mr. Granville collaborated with newly elected City of College Park Ward 1 Councilwoman Jamel McKenzie to host the Senior Springo event, enriching the lives of over 160 local senior citizens, and the Back to School Bash at Badgett Stadium, which served over 1,000 youth and their families with school supplies, uniforms, food, and voter registration. And whereas Brian Granville's ongoing commitment to the community of College Park demonstrates his dedication to enhancing the quality of life for all its citizens through continuous collaboration and meaningful contributions. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the mayor and the city council of the City of College Park that we do hereby recognize Brian D. Granville, proclaimed on this 3rd day of September 2024. Thank you so much. Thank you for all you do. And I want to give Mario an opportunity to say something, because Mario actually is the community engagement person. Brian has the firm, but Mario actually saw me in the parking lot and said, we want to give back. We want to do something for the people of College Park. So I just want to give you the opportunity, and thank you so much.
Madam Mayor, Council, I just want to speak real quick and just say it's been a pleasure. I've been with Brian since May the 1st, so I haven't been with him long. And his first assignment for me was to meet the council person in the ward that we serve and to put together some community events. So since May the 1st, alongside Councilwoman Jamel McKenzie, we served the seniors with the Springo event, where it was over 160, I believe. And then about a month and a half after that, we did the Back to School Bash, and I think it was actually over 1,100 people in attendance. And then also, Ms. McKenzie already knows, on September the 14th, so next Saturday, our office is hosting, alongside Jamel McKenzie and the Parks and Recreation Department, a movie night on the lawn in the front. It's totally free to the public, and I would love if the mayor as well as the council can join us for that night to build this community. I am a resident. I see a lot. I hear a lot. And I would like to invite everybody out, no matter what side you on, to just come out to this event and let's fellowship together and have a good time, watch a movie. And I think the movie that we are playing is If. It's the movie that just came out in May of this year. So thank you so much, and it's been a pleasure.
Mayor and Council, next on the agenda are remarks of citizens. The first remark comes from Allison Blue at 1868 Rugby Avenue regarding support for Councilwoman Jamel McKenzie.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening.
First and foremost, let me extend my heartfelt thanks to the council and to the mayor for providing this opportunity for our voices to be heard in an open forum. I also want to express my gratitude to the College Park Police for ensuring that these meetings are conducted in a peaceful and safe environment. It is so important to have space where we can come together as a community and engage in meaningful dialogue. Too often, many of us sit back and allow others to do all the talking, letting our voices remain silent. But now is the time for us to step forward and ensure that our perspectives are included in the conversation. Our voices matter, and they deserve to be heard. As you said, my name is Allison Blue, and I'm a citizen of Ward 1, residing at 1868 Rugby Avenue. I've had the privilege of calling this community home for over 2 years now. One of the first individuals that I met when I attended the historic College Park neighborhood meeting was Jamel McKenzie. Back then, she wasn't running for office, but she was already a familiar face, fully engaged in the community, advocating passionately for our seniors, women, and anyone who needed a voice in our underserved neighborhoods. When the time came to vote, I chose Jamel McKenzie to be my councilwoman because I believed then, as I still believe, that she was the most qualified and dedicated person to represent our community. What struck me about her was her genuine commitment. She was involved not because she had something to gain, but because she cared. She worked hard without any hidden agenda, simply out of a desire to uplift the community. In a functioning government, it is normal and often necessary to have healthy debates. Disagreement is a part of the process, especially when it comes to decisions that directly impact the lives of citizens. But what I've seen lately on social media has gone too far and beyond healthy. I've observed posts by some of our neighbors in College Park that are nothing short than personal attacks on Councilwoman McKenzie and her family. To say I'm appalled would be an understatement. This is not the College Park that I signed up for, actually. Jamel has given so much of herself to our community long before she ever held public office. She's been a tireless advocate for those in need, always stepping up to help whenever she could. We should be recognizing her efforts, not tearing her down. What we need more than ever is unity and support for those who truly work on our behalf. Jamel deserves our gratitude, respect, and our applause, not this unjustified crucifixion. I stand with Jamel McKenzie, and I know I'm not alone in this. There are many others in our community who feel the same way. We see the work she has done and continues to do for College Park, and we will continue to support her as she works to make our community a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
The next citizen comment will come from Jeremy Sally at 3488 Herschel Road. It's regarding young professionals in College Park.
Up here. Madam Mayor, Council, wonderful to see you guys here again today. Can you guys hear me? Perfect. I wanted to come up here because I, as a business owner within College Park, have had an issue. Over the past few months, we have seen within the news, we have seen within Metro, now going to a more grander national scale, College Park getting the news for a lot of negativity. One thing that's come across as a young professional and young business owner within the Metro Atlanta area has been the lack of involvement from the younger side of professionals. Right now on Main Street, we're seeing two businesses that have just recently closed with the bodega. We talked about the barber shop recently today. And I would like to just read some stats that just kind of comes alarming from as a business owner within it. When I was born in Atlanta, on Peachtree Street itself, that Metro Atlanta itself, by the census in 1997, was estimated 3.6 million people. By the 2020 census, and also is 11th, it's outside the top 10 is 11th. Within 2020, it was 8th at 6.1 million. With the census now seeing an estimate in 2023 at 6.3 million people within the metro area, and now 6 overtaking DC and Philadelphia as now on the side of the top 5. College Park, on the other hand, as a city, has dropped. 2000 census, 20,000. 2010, 13,000, with a 31% decrease. 2020, 13,930. And currently the estimate of 2023, 13,867. Be very clear about this. This is hurting young professionals in a growing city. 200,000 people, and we have lost people in the city. This fight that's happening, and as a business owner who has lost, in my own example, coming up to this council right here and seeing to have the unanimous approval of my own proposal for my own business in sports, on the legislative side, it worked. On the executive side, it did not. That is a problem. As someone who works in this at an international level, that I'm taking my business elsewhere. Oftentimes, I'm saying, and just to be very clear here, that there is a group here, and let's call it what it is, because I don't want to play this game. United College Park is seeing a pass of College Park, a minority of College Park, and that's detrimental for this growing, thriving metropolitan. I'm tired of it. I would love to propose, particularly here, a youth council, of course, with the help of the legislative and the executive branches of this, that we have business owners, residents that are under 32 particularly, and major parts of this is the older fight that's really hurting the populace, the young, especially for kids under 18, for wanting to see people what makes College Park so different at East Point from in the city of Atlanta for the Decatur. I want to create some type of committee of the sorts that helps in economic development for young business owners. They're able to thrive in the city. We need that. I'm tired of the fight on both ends of it. And it starts with you guys up here up the board, with the city manager, city attorney, city clerk,
Time.
across the board.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Anna Sally, 3484 Herschel Road, Young Professionals in College Park.
Good evening, council people. Good evening, Mayor. How are you all? You guys are good? Good evening, everybody. I wanted to speak on the behalf of young professionals, and I wanted to talk with, I just wanted to get my point across with the mayor, Ms. Motley Broom, or Mrs. Motley Broom. I just wanted to bring to your attention that I would love to hear more about what you were speaking on in your last meeting. You're talking about helping businesses grow. I want to hear it and I want to see it because I don't think that there's enough outreach to people around my age group. And we're 40% of College Park. I also wanted to say, we voted for you. The people in College Park voted for you. So outside of United College Park, you're being supported by the same people who support Jamel. I would love if you can make a statement asking the division and the sexism, ageism, all of those things to stop because we want to support you both. The same support that they're giving, that we're giving you from Jamel's side, we're also giving Jamel. We want to see everyone. I want to see all the council people get along, but you all set the precedent for the whole community. So I really appreciate the work that's being done by each and every one of you all. And I would appreciate if I could have somebody's attention. You guys are looking down at your phones like I see you right now, like all of you. It's really disrespectful. Especially you, Mr. Gay, you're still doing it. Oh, but I mean, I see he's had problems with women. Anyways, I appreciate you, Miss Motley Broom, and you, Miss McKenzie, and you, the city managers, and Mr. Dimrick. I just appreciate you all for just giving us the place to talk. And I appreciate you all for just giving us attention, but please get along so that we can get along. You know what I mean? It's just hard to see. And I think the next speaker, they can have some of this time. I don't really need it, but I hope the point got across to you. Good night.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Brandy Hurd at 2017 Cox Street. There is no topic of discussion.
Hello, everyone. Hey. I came up here just to make a statement. It is evident that this community is changing, and clearly, those that are among us don't like it. We have a right to express our discontent, but that is done civilly and in the ballot box. The voters of Ward 1 have spoken, and we will continue to advocate and stand on behalf of our council members. It's extremely disappointing that some of you in this room walked side by side with Ms. Jamel McKenzie until you lost your own election. And then suddenly, Jamel McKenzie became your enemy. We the voters of College Park, we will remember that. And I appreciate y'all for just hearing.
Thank you,
and
ma'am.
I stand with you.
Mayor, I need to state for the record that I accidentally reset the timer. There was approximately 30 minutes left before the last speaker, so when it hits 5 minutes, I will call time for the speakers here present. I apologize. The next speaker is Tom Coleman at 1933 Cambridge Avenue. Good governance.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. That's 1993 Cambridge for the record. A number of points here. Old item 9C, I didn't keep up with the agenda logistics that you went through there. Buying a new tractor for $184,000. This is not budgeted, and no bids were taken. They listed a Sourcewell contract thing, which may be the same thing as a state contract, not sure. In any event, if something, I would suggest to the mayor and council in their wisdom that if something is not budgeted, that you say where the money's going to come from, so that the citizens will know how that's being handled. The second item is the license plate reader that Council Member Arnold proposes. These are great. I raised my family selling security electronics, and I think this is a very good thing. A couple of procedural points, though. Councilman Arnold does a great job, which is sorely lacking in a lot of these items, on giving the rationale and the background on why we need that kind of stuff. I'd like all the citizens like to see, why are we doing this? Used to be that the staff would do that, but the staff has dwindled. So thank you for doing that. The councilwoman points out sources for this unbudgeted expenditure. She gives some examples of them or some suggestions of them. She left out the $3.8 million community enhancement fund that was funded partially by cutting 6 police positions. So I would suggest that might be a good place to get the money for this. Lastly, this camera is slated for use in Ward 3, which may be where it needs to be. In the past, these cameras have been given to the police department to deploy as they see as they feel best. So I would point that out to you. And here again, we've got no cost, no bids, and essentially we're signing a blank check. Is this going to cost $1,000, $10,000, $100,000? It's poor practice not to give what you're signing a blank check when you pass this. The item on the drone, I want to thank Councilmember McKenzie for asking some excellent questions during the workshop session, so that at least we know what's going on. For the citizens that didn't sit here in the workshop session, this is going to be an indoor arena within the Tracy Wyatt Center. It's pretty expensive. While it's a great idea.
Thank you, sir.
It's a great idea.
Thank you, sir. Your time is up. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I would like to get my wife's time.
Eileen Murphy.
Eileen Murphy.
Eileen Murphy is
Perfect, thank you.
And I'd like to turn over the rest of the items concerning consent agenda to Jason Killip.
Hi, good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
I'm Jason Killip. I live on 1465 Mercer Avenue. Thank you for letting me speak. Thank you, Tom, for your time. I am very concerned about the newfound love for consent agendas. Going back to Councilwoman McKenzie's town hall meeting, I asked her pointedly in early August how we were going to handle long meetings with lots of agenda items after missing the July meeting. And she assured me, you will do your best due diligence to do your job and represent us right. However, this is the third consent agenda in 3 meetings, where not every item meets what the Georgia Municipal Association passes as a passable consent agenda. So referring to that, the Georgia Municipal Association handbook states that a consent agenda can save time, which I can appreciate. I don't want to be here all night. I got a job. I work like 60 hours a week. I don't know about you all, but I got a real job. A consent agenda can save time, But items should be placed on the consent agenda, should not be placed on the consent agenda to discourage public participation. However, in the last few meetings, we have passed a homestead exemption. We don't even know if it's tagged to inflation. We don't know if the old one was tagged to inflation. These are all questions asked that have yet to be answered. On tonight's agenda, we have East Point jailing. We got to pay them a bill. How much for? Nobody knows. It's not even in the packet. Solar contract. Again, there's no money tied to it. We got 8C, rebuilding of a golf course. If anyone knows me, the golf course is my favorite part of College Park. It's historic, it's beautiful, it's really affordable, and it's a great way to get outside. But now it says there was a single sole requisite for $27,000. I thought we had 3 bids for over $10,000. So these are the questions that we would like answered, and when we ask for transparency and you dump everything into one large budget or one large consent item, this is what happens, and then you get questions. You know, moving down, we've got garbage trucks for $772,000. We got a leaf vacuum for $302,000. It was not on a state contract, but it says it's a lease. Are we leasing?
Time.
Are we buying?
Thank you, sir.
The next person is Mario Malcolm, 1859 Harvard Avenue, regarding movie night.
Mayor, Council, hello again. I just wanted to clarify some things. There was a message that was sent to me on Facebook this week that insinuated that our office has received some type of payout or some type of promise from Ms. McKenzie, the reason why we're doing these events. We are advocates for the community. I am Atlanta born and raised. I don't know how many people here is, but I got the Atlanta Falcons, Braves, all that tattooed all on my body. I am all about Atlanta. To insinuate United College Park that some members, of United College Park, that my office was paid by McKenzie or was asked to do this by McKenzie is false. Let me clarify the record. When I started on May the 1st at Granville Group, May the 1st, he told me he wanted me to meet the councilwoman and the mayor to set up some events and to give back to the community. I walked from my office to over here to see how I can do that. I met Mr. Retz in the hallway, and I met Miss McKenzie in the parking lot. I approached her at her car. She didn't know who I was. I could have been a robber. She turned around, she welcomed me, we spoke, and we've had a great business relationship ever since then. So I just want to verify for anybody that has any questions regarding the relationship between the Granville Group and Councilwoman Jamel McKenzie, this is not a quid pro quo. This is a business giving back to the community they serve. I was informed tonight by Brian Granville that he would love to do something with Joe Karn as well. And I will be reaching out to Mr. Karn to do that, as well as the other councils. We are not strictly here to just help McKenzie. We're here to help the entire city of College Park. And that's why earlier I turned to the mayor and the council and asked for all you guys' participation in the movie night, because that kind of, it teed me off to get that message, and I did not respond. And they know who they are who sent me that message, so I just want to clarify that to the council and on open record that we have not been paid or promised anything for doing these events. Also, these events have not cost the taxpayers one red dime. We have paid all of the money, including for the back to school drive. It was well over $17,000 that our office paid to have these events. We did not pay Ms. McKenzie. We paid the city of College Park. Well, we bought the events and we gave the donation to Ms. McKenzie made out to the city of College Park. There was nothing ever promised to us by Ms. McKenzie to do these events. So I just want to clarify that in front of the open room. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to ask for forgiveness, but it's Dr. Crisolo. Do I have that right?
Chisulu.
Chisulo. Sorry. My apologies, sir. It's not intentional, I'm trying.
No, you did great. Thank you, Mayor, Council. I'm here today to talk about what I love to talk about, and that's love. Love and honor. Love and honor of College Park. Love and honor of College Park. I love and honor College Park. Love and honor has a deeply intertwined value that shapes our relationships and our perceptions of self and others. In essence, love and honor are foundational bricks in the structure of a great human relationship. I have love and honor for you. I have love and honor for the mayor and the council, and I want others to have as much love and honor as I have for you. So today I'm promoting the good news of what you have accomplished for our great city of College Park. Through your oath to serve us and to make good for our community. And I'm saying all this because I am in hope that more people will join me in seeing the good news of College Park and show more love for our council. First of all, I want to point out that just recently our council recommended raising safety standards for all people in our community to stop the vaping. Many people have reduced their health life. Also, what's been done, our tax basis has been reduced. I'm happy that we don't have to pay as much taxes as we have had to. Great job. We continue to improve our streets and potholes. We continue to celebrate. We got a greater opportunity. It's a citywide festival at Phillips Park coming up. We expanded the community benefits to low and moderate families and disadvantaged businesses. It goes on and on of what the great thing our mayor and council have done for our community. A moratorium on delinquent taxes.
Time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good news for us all. Thank you.
Next is Volma Lanig from 3707 Main Street, Suite 40. Support for the mayor and city council.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Mayor and City Council, City Manager, and others. Our collective decision will be better than our differing views. 1 Ward 1 College Park, I stand this day for the most honorable Councilwoman Jamel McKenzie, a hardworking, caring, honorable African-American woman for a more equitable, inclusive College Park. But I can't stand here for Jamel McKenzie without standing here for Mayor Motley Broom. Can't stand here for Mayor Motley Broom without standing here for council people Roger Gay, Tracy Arnold, and Joe Connor. We must stand for 1 Ward, 1 College Park. United College Park we stand. As a peace offering, wouldn't it be great for Ward 1 to accept Councilman Gay's invitation to attend the October 12th citywide event as a peace offering, as an opportunity to get together and share their neighborly love that they share among themselves with others in College Park. Wouldn't that just be a grand time to do that? Considering the accomplishment of this council in the middle of a lawsuit, in the middle of recall conflict, and in the middle of the mayor censorship, it is your picture, Mayor, that's on the wall, on the historic wall of the headquarters of the building for the vice president, first African-American vice president, first African-American female president, and the presidential nominee of a major party of the United States of America. Of all the accomplishments you have done, is your picture, Mayor, that's there for greatness for College Park. Wouldn't it be great for you to embrace Hakeem Jeffries, weeping endure through the night, but joy shall come in the morning? Oh, how wonderful it will be to put aside the small stuff, cancel the recall, accept the will of the council, and step into your greatness of the first African-American female mayor with the first majority African-American female council, with the first majority African-American city council who cares equitably about all cities, College Park citizens. It's time for your greatness to shine. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
The next speaker is Shantae Norwood at 2013 Cox. Okay, Yolanda Kent is at 2017 Cox Court Apartment A. Okay, last we have Larry Brady Evans at 2112 Princeton.
Good evening.
Good evening.
City Council, Mayor, elected officials, citizens of College Park. I'd like to greet you all tonight in the greetings of peace. My name is Larry Brady Evans. I reside at 2112 West Princeton, where I've lived all of my life here in College Park. But tonight I want to give honor to the council that approved that we have our annual homecoming reunion. That means those of us who live between City Hall and the Brady Wall, who was displaced by the Atlanta Airport abatement program, that came in and took our way of life. And I just want to give honor to you all for honoring us to go back and to celebrate. And I do have some shirts here for you all. And I hope when you wear these shirts that you act like where we're from. Because a lot of this, what I've seen here from some of the citizens and elected officials, that wasn't what we was taught here in College Park. And for those of you all who came out to the event, Mayor, Councilman Gay, McKenzie, you all saw the beauty. You all came out, you ate, you drank. It was very merry. And that's the spirit of College Park, of what we're used to here. But some of the things that I've seen in the past, I don't know where these people come from. And I'm not making mockery, but I can't imagine the president, the vice president husband, standing up in the chambers and hollering, "Horse shit!" And everybody just go wild. And then it's others who started calling for people names who wasn't here. they was hollering, Stanley Muhammad. Mr. Muhammad wasn't even here. You had another little fella. He was running to the back door, jumping up and down. We'll be back. And that spirit was the same spirit that I felt that took over the Capitol. Well, I hope and pray that we all can come together as one, because there's nobody's perfect in here. I don't see a one.
Time.
That's perfect.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Leave you as I came before you in the greetings of peace. Wear these with honor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mayor, I do have 3 that came in digitally for us before 7:30 this evening. The first is from Kelvin Day. It's dated today at 12:01 p.m. Public comment. It says, "Hi, I wanted to ask about the choice of Karen Slayton Dixon as the interim director of finance and accounting. Ms. Dixon is currently engaged in pending litigation with the city of South Fulton, and not sure why the city feels she is a good candidate for this position. She was a whistleblower and fired based on the allegations she made while in the same position there. Also, why wasn't the citizens notified of her pending hiring on the board minutes from the past 2 months, as a lawsuit occurred in June?" It's the end of that comment. The next comment was dated 9/3/2024, today at 6:52 p.m. It was originally sent on Monday, August 5th, 2024 at 4:36, but that evening there was not enough time and there was no extension of time for online comments. It said, "This didn't get read at the last meeting and I wanted this to be on the public record." This is what was written on August 5th. "Greeting Mayor and Council. I am Demetrius Taylor, 16-year-old resident of Ward 2 in the
Embarcadero.
Yep, Club Apartments, thank you. And I continuously state I am not the voice of the people. I am the people. We've had some very exciting times since the last council meeting, and I wanted to take a few moments to say thank you, elected body, for your commitment to our city. We've been creating history, her story in College Park, and your efforts have been monumental in that. The first ever Juneteenth parade / shout out to Miss Beulah Lindsay for your due diligence. A hiring event with the Spring Hill Suites Hotel. Ward 3, healthy, looks good on you, your community outreach. Walk with the mayor, healthy looks good on you, community outreach. Springo Bingo, sponsored by the Granville Group law firm, a first in the city of College Park. A new Godby Road business community meet and greet. Boys to Men Rites of Passage Summit, a first in the city of College Park. It Takes a Village food giveaway sponsored by Favor House. College Park Airport City Rescue giveaways for the stranded passengers, a first time ever that College Park has done anything of this magnitude. Back to School Bash sponsored by the Granville Group law firm, where over 1,100 kids were issued backpacks, school supplies, and free uniforms, a first of its kind. Kids Fest, where our kids were able to let off a little bit of steam before going back to school. Promise Career Institute opens today with its first students. We have 2 new Black-owned businesses that have opened, Bakes by Dre and Liquefied on Harvest Street. We have a lot of good things happening in our city, and I'm compelled to ask for a moment of silence for our own master photographer who would have captured each moment, but he received his wings, Mr. Warren Bond Sr., who will forever be our pictorial documentarian/historian. And for the first time, we can say that all of the land of 6 West has been purchased and development is underway. Let's build on this momentum and keep moving forward. Of course, we will have bumps in the road, some negative press along the way. Folks may not be happy at one time or another, but we are progressing. Thank you for the first 8 months. Let's see what's to come. Demetrius D. Taylor. Sorry, the last one I have to pull up in my email. I apologize. The last one is from Singe Tyson, homeowner at 18 John Calvin Avenue. Dear Mayor, Council, and College Park City officials, residents who reside and own property on West John Calvin Avenue between Main Street and Hemp Hill Street were not notified of the change for John Calvin Avenue to become a one-way street. There is not a need for John Calvin Avenue to be a one-way street. John Calvin Avenue also should not be the overflow parking lot for the school or surrounding businesses. There was no thought or consideration for residents who live in this block of John Calvin Avenue. Signs were placed in front of historical property, and the additional traffic is causing harm to residents. Citizens in the block that is most impacted and citizens who live in the next block between Hemp Hill Street and College Avenue were not in support of this change once they found out what was happening in their street. Ironically, citizens who were not directly impacted were provided with no parking signs in front of their properties. We request that John Calvin Avenue between Main Street and Hemp Hill Avenue be changed back to a two-way street, and that parking for anyone who work or attending surrounding schools utilize the parking lot for the school and the parking spaces in front of the school on Main Street. Further, permit parking only signs or no parking signs should be placed in front of the residents on John Calvin Avenue between Main Street and Hemp Hill Street. Thank you. Respectfully submitted, Singe Tyson, homeowner. Again, 18 John Calvin Avenue. That's the last citizen comment.
Madam Clerk, how much time is left?
Probably less than 5 minutes. I forgot to restart the clock when I was reading those. I'm failing miserably tonight with the time. I'm sorry.
All right. If anyone from the audience wishes to speak, they can approach. All right, seeing none, we'll continue to proceed.
The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Would you like for me to read the items that are remaining on the consent agenda?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to follow what's on the screen because I have made paper notes, so I apologize in advance. Consideration and action on a request to approve payment on East Point Police Department for services rendered in the amount of $10,440. This item is being requested by the Chief of Police, Connie Rogers. This will service all wards. This is a budgeted item. Item B, Third Amendment to the Power Purchase Contract, PPC, for solar power. This item is being requested by Hugh Richardson, Power Director. This is a budgeted item. Item C, consideration of an action on a request for reconstruction of hole number 4 green at College Park Golf Course in the amount of $27,120.30. This is requested by Giannis Barner. The service is in Ward 2. Item D, consideration of and action on the request to utilize SiteMed for fire department fit-for-duty physicals at a cost of $25,205. This item is from the Deputy Fire Chief Sterling Jones. This is a budgeted item and will impact all wards. The next item is item F, consideration of and action on a request to lease purchase 2 Heel Half Pack 40 CY front loader in the amount of $771,830 to replace unit number 445 and number 446. This is a budgeted item. This request is from the Sanitation Superintendent, Cedric Hand. These purchases will support all wards. This is a budgeted item. Item G, consideration of an action on a request to do lease purchase of a leaf vacuum truck in the amount of $301,529 to replace Unit 401. This request is from Sanitation Superintendent Cedric Hand. This purchase will support all wards. This is a budgeted item. Item I, consideration of an action on a request to approve the invoice payment to the collaborative firm LLC in an amount of $20,000 for College Park planning services. This item is requested by the interim city manager, Dr. Emmanuel Adadaran. This will serve all wards.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carney. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any- You were in favor?
Yeah.
Okay, that is unanimous.
Point of order here, Madam Mayor. I'm going to suggest we take a break for executive session, being that it's about 9 p.m. City Manager, I guess is Warren here, or is he?
No. We haven't reached that point in the agenda.
All right,
And
so
we
I'm
don't
going
have
to
it.
make
We
a
don't-
motion for.
We don't, hold on, Councilmember Carney. Hold on. Please do not cut me off.
I was talking to the city manager.
You said Madam Mayor, and so I'm presiding over this meeting. We're moving through the agenda. We're on item 9A, which is the drones. We've approved, we've approved the agenda. We're going through the agenda because this body approved the agenda as it is laid out. So 9A is the drones. Approval of the, let me see.
It was consent item H.
Yes. Consideration of an action to approve drone flight training FAA certification education extension program.
So,
Can motion?
so moved, and
Thank-
there
thank you,
needs to be some
Councilmember.
clarification to the item.
Hold on, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Session, Councilmember Arnold, go right ahead.
So the action is, essentially, the monies are there for the program to be implemented. The real question is whether or not, if my colleagues would like a slot on the team for each one of their wards. There are 10 slots. 4 slots will be for Ward 3, and each one of their wards can have 2 slots for their constituents. So that's the real vote that we're making here today.
Any further discussion?
Yes.
Councilmember McKenzie?
As Tom Coleman made clear, and I do try my best to represent my constituents as well when I'm voting, I have some concerns. I think the program is a wonderful program, but I do not believe that we have been given enough information, and that's why I removed it from the consent agenda to make a decision. We have not been given in our agenda packet what the total cost of this program is going to be, what additional expenses would be required by the City of College Park, if any, and how much is being taken from Councilwoman Arnold's budget, or what that she said. Each of us, if we're using money from our community enhancement, we let it be known how much money is being used for those projects. So I would like to have this brought back to us when we have that information. We're fiscal stewards, and I want to know, if I'm voting, I need to know exactly how much money this is going to cost.
Councilmember Arnold?
Those are very valid points. We've had other items that we voted for here in the past couple of weeks, and you didn't have that breakdown of information, including the $30,000 that we just did for the STEM program. Miss Charlotte, that was here earlier, expressed that the program, the total cost of it is $12,000. $9,000 of that is coming out of monies that were already allocated by Clean Spark for Ward 3. And then the other $3,000 are already inside of the budget for the TWRC. It was $60-something thousand for enhancements to that complex, and that's what this is for. That's where the balance is coming from. We answered those questions during the workshop.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Any abstentions?
I do have another comment. It's very
Wait,
interesting.
hold on. Nope, Councilmember Arnold. We're in the midst of a vote. Yes.
Yes, you did.
Councilmember Carn seconded.
He did.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yes. So that's why. So Councilmember Arnold's in favor. Those opposed?
I'm opposed.
And anyone abstaining? Councilmember Carn, what is your vote?
Opposed.
Councilmember Gay?
What was Councilman Carn vote?
Opposed.
I thought he just gave a motion.
I gave a second.
Councilmember Gay, the motion has been made by Councilmember Arnold, seconded by Councilmember Carn. There was discussion, and now we've moved to a vote.
So why did he oppose?
I don't know. Councilmember Carn and Councilmember McKenzie are in opposition. Councilmember Arnold is in favor of the drone program. What is your vote?
Can you repeat it?
It's consideration of an action to approve the drone flight training FAA certification education extension program that was presented at workshop.
And just for clarification,
we still having
again, it's
discussion?
for the
Okay, then I have
positions
discussion
on,
too.
so do you want two positions for your ward? Does she want to, and does he want to, or not?
I'm trying
Can-
to understand the vote.
Councilmembers McKenzie and Carn are opposed to the program. Councilmember Arnold is in favor.
Point of
What is your-
clarification. I am not opposed to the program. I am opposed to the fact that we have not been given in our packet the information, the financial information regarding the city's commitment.
The city
And to
doesn't
well,
have a
I'm still
commitment.
speaking. I'm
Hold-
still
hold on,
speaking.
hold on.
I'm still speaking.
Wait. Councilmember McKenzie.
Can I please
Councilmember-
finish?
Hold on. We're in the midst of a vote here, and it is an action to approve the drone flight training. Councilmembers McKenzie and Carn are opposed. Councilmember Arnold is in favor. Councilmember Gay, what is your vote?
Opposed.
All right, motion fails.
Mayor, point of order. I'm going to make a motion that we go into executive session for interviews.
Councilmember Cohen, we almost done. And we literally only have 2 more, 3 more items. We can skip the,
Hold on, he's made a motion. Is
Well-
there a second?
well,
He's made a motion.
I'll-
Is there a second? He's made a motion that we go into executive session for interviews that I don't know anything about. Is there a second? Motion dies for lack of a second. We're moving on to 9B.
Madam Mayor, I'll modify that motion.
Sir, we have approved the agenda. Executive session comes at the end. We are moving through the agenda.
Again, Madam
Sir.
Mayor, point of order. I have a second motion.
Sir,
if we
your
can
motion is
finish
out of order
down
at this
to,
time. We're moving on with the agenda.
Madam Mayor, it is not.
It
I have
is,
a
sir.
point of order.
I have ruled it out of order.
A motion. I have
Sir.
a second motion.
Sir, I've ruled it out of order. What is the next item agenda?
Understood. Point of order. Again, I have a motion.
Understand, sir,
All
that
right,
we have
then I'm
already
going to-
approved the agenda,
Understood.
and so we are following said agenda.
I do
That is
have-
Robert's Rules
again,
of Order,
I have a-
sir.
I have a
We are
motion.
moving forward. Sir, you're out of order. Madam Clerk, what is the next?
City Attorney.
Madam Clerk.
I'd like to make a motion. Am I out of order?
I don't know what the motion is, so I can't determine whether it's out of order or not.
Well, I have a motion. I'd like it to be
Sir, I am the
acknowledged.
presiding officer. I have ruled you out of order. Madam Clerk, what is the next item on the agenda? Madam, sir.
9B is consideration of an action on a request to amend Chapter 11 occupation licenses, taxes, and regulations in the city's Code of Ordinances. This item is requested by the city clerk's office in participation with Dr. Emmanuel Adadaran, the city manager.
Is there a motion?
Interim city manager.
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second? Motion dies for lack of a second. Next item.
The next item is consideration of an action on a request to amend Chapter 3 alcoholic beverages of the City Code of Ordinances. This item is requested by the City Clerk's Office in participation with Dr. Emmanuel Adadaran, the interim city manager.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second? Motion dies for lack of a second.
The next item on the agenda is consideration of an action on a request to purchase a new John Deere 6105 tractor with the Almo Samurai boom in the amount of $183,552.50. This purchase will replace the boom arm unit number 100, which is currently inoperable, requiring parts that are now obsolete. This request is being made by Carlton Newton, Building and Ground Superintendent. This is not a budgeted item. This purchase will benefit wards 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Councilmember Arnold?
Do we have like a maintenance plan or agreement? What is the maintenance schedule on these vehicles, along with the other items that we passed earlier?
While they coming, I have a point of order. We had said that we were going to...
Councilmember Gay, go right ahead. What's the point of order?
We had said that we were going to try our earnest to try and get our questions answered. So, great questions, but we have an opportunity from Thursday to Monday to get these questions answered. So I asked my colleagues to do their earnest to try and get these questions answered prior to these public meetings.
Councilmember Gay, we are in discussion, and Councilmember Arnold is perfectly in order at this time to ask that question. Go right ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Council?
Hey, thank you.
I actually.
No, I was just wondering whether or not if we have like a maintenance schedule or for all of the items, not just this one, as far as keeping up with, the servicing and all that good stuff.
Yes, ma'am, we do. This equipment has been used for over like 20 years. So due to wear and tear and parts that are needed, we can't get the parts for that because of 20 years on the arm. So we need to invest in a new one.
Understood. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Any further discussion? Or, Mr. Rand, do you have additional information in that regard?
Oh, yeah, mine is different from his. For the two vehicles I'm buying, I'm trying to get a program where they can get it serviced, like periodically instead of going all the way through Moody's, because we go through Moody's to get like certain services, but if we get a new vehicle, like they set up plans so you can just get it serviced through them, like periodically, like to make sure everything's up to par.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Abstention.
All right, so the motion passes with votes in favor from Council Members Carn, Arnold, and Gay, and Councilmember McKenzie abstains.
The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and action on a request regarding the addition of a license plate reader and cameras for Ward 3. This is not a budgeted item. Discussion led by Councilwoman Tracy Arnold.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Discussion? Councilmember Arnold? Anything?
I don't have much of a discussion. The email was sent with the cost of the item. It's the information. It was $9,000. I think that $9,000 is well spent to keep our citizens safe. I wrote up a whole justification of why we needed to do this. I think that we should do whatever we have the ability to do when it comes to the safety and security of our citizens. That's it.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote.
I was getting ready to say something.
Well, Councilmember McKenzie, go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. I didn't see any information in our packet regarding this license. So where is this going to come from? Where is this going to come from if we get it? And again, I'm asking the questions that my my residents are asking. It's my responsibility to be here to stand and ask those questions. So I would like to know where this money's going to come from. Is anyone that can answer that? Where,
Dr. Adediran?
where in the budget?
Deputy Chief, did the chief identify where the money will come from for the?
No, sir, I wasn't a part of that conversation as far as where it would come from.
Okay, because I know the chief was, working and got a quote for.
Right, the quote is for 3 cameras, and that's $19,000.
The camera is one, and then the other one is this license plate and reader.
Right. The annual recurring after year 1 is $9,000.
And the other,
hold on. Wait, hold on. We
I
got
was
people
still-
talking over each
I
other.
was still
Hold
on
on,
my
hold on.
question.
So-
Wait, the question, Councilmember Arnold, if you can shed some light?
Sure. I outlined, I laid out different pockets where the monies could come from. And so I think that the investigation, then the onus is on the city manager and his staff and finance to see about getting those funds from one of those pots of money. I don't understand why the SPLOST funds could not be used for that. But, I mean, I'm no expert. I'm not the finance expert to determine where the funds should come from. That should be the staff. But back to my statements earlier, we're talking about safety and security. We've had 3 people shot in a year, 2 home invasions, and 1 person dead in a year. And so to spend $19,000, $20,000, whatever the number is, and we've spent millions of dollars unbudgeted, and for us to question about safety and security is really unconscionable. So I honestly and truly, I don't know and I don't care where the money comes from, but people should feel safe, and we should have the equipment in place to keep them safe and to help the police officers when they're investigating these types of situations, so it won't take weeks and days to solve things like someone being murdered. Thank you.
I have comment.
Councilmember McKenzie?
Traditionally, the purchase of cameras, license plate readers is usually determined by our public safety department. I would like to have you, Deputy Chief or Chief or whatever, to actually make that recommendation to us, especially if we're going to spend money that's not in the budget. I am all for safety, okay? But I also know that normally what the process would be is that this would be a determination of staff to let us know where the pockets are. You know, we are not, even though I may have a concern about crime, I am not a crime analyst or expert. So what I would request is that a recommendation be made, or that a study or some type of analysis be done.
Point of clarification.
And then a
Mayor.
determination in terms of where we think that we need to have cameras if we're going to be spending out a budget.
Point of clarification, Mayor.
Councilmember Arnold?
And so that information has been provided by staff. That research was done, and I forwarded that email to mayor and council with that information.
Councilwoman Arnold, if I could help. I know that Chief Rogers did state that the crime analyst did look at it to see the best locations. The only thing that was recommended was for one of them to be placed at East Main and Princeton, because we feel that we'll get more. Well, it was suggested to move the one at East Main and Princeton to Harvard and East Main, because we feel that we'll get more traffic that way.
Okay, I just don't know why this was not put in the packet, so that's where I'm going based on, I can't make decisions based on emails. I have to make decisions based on what is placed in the packet. And
The
because
locations
also
that they're-
everyone else who's interested in this information are citizens, they're seeing the packet, they're not seeing the emails as well.
All right, I understand, and the information that we have so far is the locations would be Virginia Avenue and Madison, Adam Street in Hawthorne, and the one that was supposed to be placed at East Main in Princeton, we're suggesting for it to be placed at Harvard in East Main.
All right.
I've got.
Councilmember Carn?
All right, so, Deputy Chief. How
Yes,
you
sir.
doing? So, right now, the department, we don't know exactly where we're gonna pull the money from. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
We can look into some things and
Okay,
see
so,
what we could do.
well, we're looking at locations, I heard that. So now we gotta look at city manager, what I would suggest. And, Lord knows, I don't think there's anybody up here that's against public safety.
Right.
But let's figure out with the chief, where we're gonna get the money from. I say we maybe table it and take another look at it and get the information. That was just my suggestion, so.
I had
Dr.
discussed it.
Adediran?
No, I had discussed it with Chief, and I thought where the money was, will come from had been identified. But we can table it till the next, council meeting.
Do you know where the money is coming from?
Chief, when this issue came up, Chief had identified the 3 cameras, and I was under the impression that she had identified where the money would come from. That's what, that's why I asked you, if she had discussed it with you. That we can table it to the next council meeting, and all this will be ironed out by then. And if it's ironed out before then, I'll send an email to, mayor and council as to where the money coming from.
Well, let's just, my suggestion would be to tee it back up for another meeting, and that way we have everything I's dotted and T's crossed. So that'd be my suggestion.
I understand the chief is gone and she's on vacation, but
yes.
I mean, if there has been a source identified.
Mayor, in the
perhaps
interest of time, I'm gonna withdraw my motion I'm withdraw my first motion.
I was speaking.
When you finish the motions,
Yeah,
it should be
okay,
withdrawn.
just let me speak. That this body has in the past conditionally passed approval. If there is a funding source that has been identified, then we can find out when the chief returns. If everyone's in favor of the concept, why don't we move forward on that? If the chief does not have a funding source identified.
Well, first
then-
off,
I'm still talking.
go ahead, finish.
And if the chief does not have a funding source identified, then we can.
And
I'm still talking.
Oh, I thought you were through.
No, I was just inhaling air.
Okay.
That if there is not a funding source that is identified, then it can get back on the next agenda. And perhaps if, Councilmember Gay, I think you were the one who made the motion, that if there is a source identified, because we don't know, the chief is not here to share that information, but then when she gets back, if she can share that, and there is one, great. If there's not, then we can handle it at the next meeting. Would that be something you'd be amenable to?
Question.
I would like to take back my motion,
All right, you're withdrawing your motion?
and I'm going to make a second motion that this item be tabled until the next subsequent meeting, given opportunity to identify funding.
All right. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
All right, so that motion passes with Councilmembers McKenzie, Carn, and Gay in favor, and Councilmember Arnold opposed.
Our next item on the agenda is formally consent agenda item E. It is consideration of an action on a contract for the annual professional financial audit service provider contract. See memorandum dated August 22nd, 2024 for interim director of finance and accounting Karen Slayton-Dixon recommending Malden and Jenkins LLC's contract to be extended for 1 year to end on June 30th, 2025 at a cost of $109,000. This is a budgeted item.
Is there a motion? There is no motion.
City manager.
We
I want
need-
us to take a look at, I know we have to do an audit. We have a certain time window, so by the next meeting, we want to have some options.
Karen,
Let's make sure that happens.
would that be too late, by the next, because we have a time frame for the, for the audit.
I'm aware,
Mayor, Council, yes, it's critical that we get this approved because otherwise it's going to delay the audit and the auditors will not be able to start until they know that they can have this agreement.
Understood. Well, it's something that we got to do, and we don't want to miss our time window. But I don't want to go with this same company. We want to find an alternate company. And we got 2 weeks to the next meeting. How's our time frame looking for ultimate deadline on making sure we get an audit in here?
Well, because we have to go out for an RFP, that's going to be the delay because
Right.
we have to bid this out and we currently don't have anyone in purchasing at this time that's handling bids and RFPs. And so the audit is due by the end of December, so.
That's what I thought. All right, so city manager, let's work on that next meeting. Let's see if we can tee up some options.
We don't have anyone to issue an RFP.
Let me make a point.
May I ask sorry.
Madam Clerk?
While we have 2 weeks before our next meeting, the agenda items for the staff is due, and for the mayor and council is actually due this coming Thursday, as in day after tomorrow. I just want to make this body aware.
Understood. Right. Well, well aware. City
Okay.
manager, I understand we're under time constraints. Now, we want to make sure we take care of this because this is something that's mandatory and has to be done. Now, if we got to extend submissions a couple of days, whatever you see fit, let's make sure we get it in so at the next meeting, we got some options on the table here possibly in terms of what we need to do. But we want to make sure we get an audit, but at the same time,
I would like to make a comment that.
Hold on, Councilmember Gay. I'm trying to understand how we are going to get an RFP out on the street if we
Well,
don't have someone,
well.
hold on, I'm speaking, please. How we're going to get an RFP on the street if we don't have anyone, because the interim procurement person just left, right?
Yes.
He left.
Yes.
He decided he was
told
done.
us stop
So
it.
we don't have anyone doing any procurement. So how are we going to get an RFP on the street, get it responded to, get it evaluated by staff, and back here for the September 16th meeting, Dr. Adediran? Hold on, wait. I asked Dr. Adediran.
The only thing I can do is call the recruiter tomorrow morning, or, if it's not too late tonight, see if he can send us somebody or find an emergency procurement individual that can.
So wait, hold on, wait, what does that look like? Because, I mean, for someone to respond, I mean, for it to hit the street, which Ms. Slayton-Dixon, hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. For that to happen, we need to go through a process, and that window needs to be open for a certain length of time.
Yes, ma'am.
And so even closing it, like typically our agendas come out late Wednesday, early Thursday at the most for the public before the meeting on the Monday. So what does that look like, Dr. Adediran, in terms of actual logistics about whether or not this can be done? Dr. Adediran, the question is for Dr. Adediran.
As I stated, the best thing I can do right now is to talk to one, see if we can get some emergency procurement individual here, and then look at the state guidelines as to what's the shortest time we can have it advertised, or solicit the accounting firms, we have around here, some accounting firms. We'll talk to them and see what we can come up with in the next couple of days, and we'll report it back to you.
Councilmember Gay, wait, hold on. Councilmember Gay had something to say. He was next. I will come back to you, Councilmember Carr.
If I'm not mistaken, this city has a policy that we don't have to bid out professional services. That being said, I'm clear that the city manager will have several options for us well within the time frame. Let me repeat. It is our policy that we do not have to bid out professional services.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. We have interviews also, so we got to move it with me.
Okay, no problem.
Okay?
We don't have to give it out, like, this is professional service.
I was thinking something similar, but I'll
Okay. Just want to be on the safe
So
side.
y'all work on it and
Y'all
maybe
work on
come
it,
up with
okay?
something. All right.
We
All
won't.
right.
The next item on the agenda is the city attorney's report.
I'll look into that procurement issue.
The next item on the agenda is the city manager's report.
I'll work with the city attorney to try to get somebody to help us with the audit.
The next item on the agenda is report of mayor and council.
Well, I think I kicked that off and want to thank Madam Clerk for your prompt attention to the issue with the August 9th special called meeting minutes, because I did alert everyone this morning to the fact that after reviewing those minutes, it was clear to me that the entirety of the meeting was not included in the minutes. The written minutes reflected a gap of 36 minutes from 6:20 p.m. to 6:56 p.m. when there was a quorum within the room and no suspension of the meeting or adjournment, while the audio recording of the meeting had a gap of approximately 10 minutes where there was complete silence. And so there were some serious concerns about the taking of those minutes. And certainly under our ordinances, Chapter 2, Article 2, Section 2-24, the clerk or an employee authorized by the city clerk is tasked with recording the entire proceedings of all official recordings. So it is very, very important that we get everything down at all times. And I know that at least one exchange between myself and the city attorney was not recorded in the written minutes or the recorded minutes regarding our, in my opinion, lack of adherence to the Open Meetings Act with the ejection of the public from the room. So I think it's vitally important that all of that get down in the minutes, and I appreciate that Madam Clerk and the rest of the staff worked to make sure that we are getting that correct. Also wanted to talk a little bit, been busy representing the city of College Park in a lot of different venues. I was in 2 different spots last week. Traveled with the National League of Cities to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and Experience Puerto Rico 2024. It was a local government symposium for not only folks from the mainland and Puerto Rico, but Latin and Central America as well. And it was a great exchange of ideas and information, learning more about how all of us are working to serve the residents in our communities. Met Mayor Wally from San Pedro, Belize, and he talked about how when he got it right down to filling potholes and building bridges, how important that was to his community. He actually has a lot of similarities in his community to ours, and that we get a lot of folks, we get a lot of travelers, we get a lot of tourists, and how that balance of catering to the people who are coming in and out of your community versus the people who are living within your community is a delicate one to tread. But it was a fantastic opportunity to exchange not only information, but culture and ideas. And then I spent the second half of the week in Athens with 59 other mayors across the state for the initial Mayor's Innovation Leadership Institute hosted by the Carl Vinson Institute of Government and the Georgia Municipal Association. And we had some really deep conversations with leaders across this state, and they actually brought in a professor from Virginia Tech who walked us through some of the decision-making processes that we all go through as elected leaders, and how we think of sort of the technical challenges, and then we work on adaptive challenges as well. And we went through a number of exercises as a group, individually, to help us be better leaders in our communities. And just having the opportunity to be in the room with all of those mayors from across the great state of Georgia was an absolutely phenomenal experience, and that first class was just great. So I'm looking forward to that institute being a yearly thing. I think it's actually going to be every other year, but I really do think they should do it every year. And as the first vice president of the Georgia Municipal Association, I will be heading out with our counterparts on the county side, ACCG, to talk about the upcoming legislative session for the state of Georgia, because as first vice president, I chair the Legislative Policy Council. So we will be talking about a lot of the issues that will be impacting cities across this state, and hopefully formulating an opportunity for GMA and ACCG to work together and collaboratively on some of these issues, because there are times when cities and counties don't necessarily see eye to eye. But more often than not, we are able to walk in lockstep with one another and support each other during the legislative session, which kicks off in January. So we will be gathering together to get additional ideas, learn from one another. We've done this for the last couple of years, and it has been a very fruitful session to get things on the right track. And so in regard to us getting things on the right track with our own delegation, is one of the things that GMA does encourage is a hometown connection with our elected officials. So hopefully we can start looking at dates this fall to meet with our legislative delegation and talk about the priorities that we have as a city. So that's all I've got. Councilmember McKenzie.
All right, I'm going to try to be short. Of course, I'm so glad that we are recognizing that this is National Hispanic Heritage Month, and the theme for 2024 for Hispanic Heritage Month is Pioneers of Change, Shaping the Future Together. That's amazing. That's wonderful. The last 2 weeks have been quite eventful for myself. The day after we had our last council meeting, we hosted students from Lovett. It was a delegation of 45 students that were enrolled in their civic leadership class, and it was a wonderful, wonderful day. And I want to thank James Prince and the golf course staff. Our city manager, the golf course staff actually hosted the delegation for lunch. Interim City Manager Dr. Ed Darren was there and spoke to us. Mr. Kasim Latipo was there as well. And I want to thank Tina and Aaron Hill, who are Ward 1 residents, who actually were the ones that approached me about having Lovett School come to our city. I'm looking forward for doing the same type of event for Woodward Academy, as well as some of our local schools here in our area. I had the opportunity to do orientation with the Atlanta Regional Commission this past week. It was fantastic. I still have about 3 more months left in the Institute, but I was joined by 56 other amazing leaders who represent 11 counties here in the Atlanta region. And the fantastic thing is, one of the things that we talked about was the Flint River Preserve Project, the Headwaters Project. And I was so College Park proud to be that part, that we are the headwaters. And there was so much excitement about attaching the belt line on, and we had so many discussions on that. We also talked about concerns for seniors, and I'll be quick as possible. Did you know that by 2050, the Atlanta region we're looking at a 30% increase in senior citizens 65 and above? That is huge. But we're only looking for about a 12% increase in persons who are 18 to 35. So which means is less people are being born, but more people are living longer. And so we discussed the concerns about seniors, and again, I was College Park proud that we had made the decision as a governing body to raise the income level for our seniors here in College Park so that now 700 households versus 72 households will actually qualify for tax exemptions. And also just the fact that we rolled back taxes at our last meeting, and a lot of our homeowners are seniors 65 and over. And that's going to be huge, the fact that there won't be an increase in their taxes. And so on Saturday, I attended the Black Business Block Party with Woody Sampson and his firm, and it was fantastic. The Wellness Spot was also a participant in that, and several businesses, and we got a chance to speak to the persons that were attending. And then I went to the College Park reunion after that. Last but not least, which was really fantastic, and Larry's already talked about it. I just want everybody to keep looking at City Hall, keep looking at the lawn. We're working on some upgrades, and keep watching Main Street. We've got a lot of improvements coming to our Main Street area. So just keep your eyes on College Park, because we're moving, and we're grooving, and we're dancing to the music. Last, tomorrow, the Empowerment Zone will have its soft launch, which is the STEM project that the city gave a contract to Emergent Life Skills for $30,000 at the last meeting. Emergent has gotten busy working immediately, and so they will be opening up the STEM Lab Empowerment Zone in Club E on tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and we will also be thanking Carly Redd, who was very instrumental in providing us with the technology for that project. Again, I'm College Park proud of all of the wonderful accomplishments and the collaborations that we're having and the things that we're doing. Keep your eyes on College Park. We're moving.
Councilmember Carr?
All right, real quick, a couple of things going on. Some of you all may have heard about the Unite Here. This is a national organization. Currently there's a national strike going on of hotel workers throughout the United States. 9 major cities throughout the country, over 10,000 hotel workers. I reached out to the directors at Unite Here, and I was really concerned. Fortunately for us, Metro Atlanta, including College Park, will not be affected, thank goodness. So that's a big deal for us, obviously, since that's part of our bread and butter, so to speak. Went to the College Park family reunion. It was wonderful as always. It's good to see some familiar faces and the old guard, so to speak. Had a wonderful Labor Day community event at one of our parks. City manager, thank you for all the support. We had about 75 to 100 folks come out for food and fellowship, and it was a wonderful day off, and everyone had a great time. This is a great community, and people do enjoy living in this city. Do we need to make improvements? Absolutely, just like any other city. We are expanding our city facilities to include a city and community resource center. This is going to be along Camp Creek Parkway. We passed it at one of the last meetings. As you are aware, that area does not have any city facility whatsoever, so we're very proud to get that underway and get that going so that we can provide services to all of our residents within a reachable distance. So we're going to be working diligently on that as well and getting the ball rolling on that. Last thing I'll talk on in terms of business owners, I hear them loud and clear all the time in College Park. City manager, I do want to host one event that I've had a couple of times here in College Park. It's titled How to Do Business in College Park. how to do business in College Park. The last times that I've held it, it was at the Convention Center. We invite our vendors, we invite folks that may be interested in doing business with the city. We have a plethora of neighbors and residents and local folks that have thriving businesses that, believe it or not, have no idea that you can do business with the government. A lot of folks don't think that their business can do business with the government. Well, they can. In almost every city in the United States of America, every city makes an attempt and encourages and seeks out any and all local vendors in the local area. Every city does this. We seek out the local businesses, the local services from our neighbors. Matter of fact, it's quite unusual for a city to go outside of their city if they have a city business that has that service that can provide it. Why? Because that's part of your tax base, and that only makes good sense. And we've done it for years here in College Park, and there's never, ever been an issue. We bought from E.L. Johnson auto parts for decades with the police department when they needed oil filters and different things for the vehicles. Of course we bought with the local vendors. That's what all cities do. No one had an issue at all for decades with that. Jeans Plumbing, great plumbing outfit, located right here in College Park. When there was a plumbing issue that we had, who did we call? Jeans Plumbing. Why? Because they're a local vendor. They pay their taxes in here, and of course we're going to try to support our local folks. Nothing unusual about it at all. Brown Electrical. I could roll off dozens of them that we have always used. But now all of a sudden, with this new council, there's an issue when we support our local folks to do the work. All cities support local folks that can do the work. We're going to have this how to do business in College Park. I'd like to have it sometime next month. We want to invite all business owners that are interested. The way we would normally do it, city manager, you would kind of logistically we would have our department heads there, and they would just basically speak each briefly on the types of things and procurement and purchases that they routinely would buy in a year, so that people can get an understanding of the individual departments and the type of purchases we're looking at. And we'll have a brief step-by-step of how to become a vendor and pretty much leave it at that. But we brought on a lot of vendors just from that knowledge and awareness. So I think that's important to have, to let folks know that you can do business with this city and that we are open for business. And we want to support our local folks, especially College Park residents. If you have a thriving business, you can do business with us. Our doors are open, and we want to do business with our residents first. I always say, if we're not going to support our local businesses first, who else will? Because they certainly support us with their tax dollars. So we want to make sure to make that happen. And again, this is something that I think is long overdue. The last time I had one was over 10 years ago. So it's high time we had another one, because people, again, are not aware of that. So that's all I got. I want to try to be brief so we can get in this executive session here. Thank you.
Before we do that, Councilmember, I have no idea why we're going into executive session. There is we haven't posted that we're going into executive session. What's the purpose?
Well, if you all are aware, I think we got an email.
Excuse me, point of order. You can't just stop the rotation. You can ask after she finishes.
We'll talk afterwards.
Well, we don't just.
So we're interviewing city manager candidates,
Mayor,
and Councilmember Arnold and I didn't know?
You can talk all night long, but you can't be rude and disrespectful. The public is listening to you. Be respectful. It's her time, it's my time, and then ask your questions. You can talk, but be respectful. Don't be a bully.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. I appreciate your comments. So I'm trying to understand, because we're talking about executive session, and Councilmember Arnold, I will give you all the time that is yours. I do not mean to take any time from you. But we're talking about this executive session, and there's been no posting.
City manager.
Please,
City
sir,
manager.
could you let me, sir,
I think you need
sir,
to, don't let
Sir, could you just let me ask the question?
We're not going to do this tonight.
Okay,
you're not
but
going to be jumping and no. You talk.
All right,
but
so
we're not going to
yeah,
answer
I'm gonna talk, because I had no idea that we were doing city manager finalist interviews this evening. Is that the purpose of executive session?
From what the recruiter I spoke to, she gone. That was my understanding that this some Zoom interview. I mean, Warren didn't talk to you. He didn't send your invitation or anything of that nature.
No.
Something.
I got a Zoom link or a Teams link
I have a point
earlier.
of order. City manager, I have a point of order. Now you're being out of order.
Hold on,
We
I'm
have
the
a
presiding
process.
I'm the presiding officer of this meeting, and I appreciate the.
But you got to be the presiding order.
And
doing
and
the
I'm
order.
and I'm and I'm gonna.
You can't just rudely just stop.
And sir,
the goal
sir,
is to let you talk
sir,
out, but you
I
just
understand.
can't talk out.
Sir,
I mean,
I'm trying to get some clarification.
I mean, it seems like it's like you love this. You can't just talk out and.
I'd like to make a motion.
Hold on, Councilmember
I'd like to make a
McKenzie.
motion.
Councilmember McKenzie, what's your motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we continue with the public comments from the elected officials who have not said their reports, I should say. So I'd like to make a motion that at this time, we continue with council reports.
Second.
As outlined on the agenda.
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. There's a second from Councilmember Gay. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
So Councilmembers McKenzie, Carn, and Gay are in favor. Councilmember Arnold abstains. The motion passes. Councilmember Arnold, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "One day we will learn that the heart can never be totally right when the head is totally wrong." Some of you may remember on March 4th of this year, I suggested that we recommit ourselves as a city of civility by reaffirming ourselves to uphold GMA's civility oath. And I was pleasantly surprised that Mr. Bill Crane would deliver that oath in our last meeting and encourage people to follow the tenets of the oath. And after having the opportunity to chat with him a few days ago about the oath, I continue to believe that we should recommit ourselves to the oath, not just in our words, but also in our actions by issuing a proclamation to support that we really believe in what this is saying. Therefore, Mr. City Manager, I am officially requesting that we immediately implement the suggestions that have been proposed by Mr. Crane in support of GMA's civility oath. I'm also suggesting again that we plan a strategic retreat, and this should be one of the items that we have on the retreat agenda, as I believe that we should also define our expectations of whom the oath is to cover and implement gentle reminders of what behavioral actions support the oath, and that we develop a code of conduct with an attestation to be required of the governing body, the staff, contractors, and vendors. Treating others with decency, dignity, respect is non-negotiable. And we should demand nothing less amongst ourselves, our staff, our citizens, and our visitors. Over the past 2 weeks, I've had a great privilege to represent the constituents of Ward 3 at Clayton County Chairman Turner's 10th annual 5K run walk, and that was fun. It was good to see other colleagues from our sister cities in Clayton County. I also participated in the East Point Wednesday wind down. And it was good to see Tony, hadn't seen them in a while, and Howard Hewitt. And I also participated in a networking event hosted by ACEC, which stands for the American Council of Engineering Companies of Georgia. It's kind of interesting. I met a young man there that works for a civil engineering firm, and he was talking about, Shaban was his name, he was talking about how he could utilize his engineering degree to go into business. The ironic thing about it was that as I was talking to him, he kind of reminded me of when I had gone off to college to also get a civil engineering degree. It didn't turn out that way, as I shared with him. I ended up essentially with a physics degree when it was all said and done, but encouraged him to continue with his studies, to achieve his MBA over at Emory, and to translate that into doing business in civil engineering. And I am so excited to hear about his journey, and maybe one day we will be working with him with our development in 6 West and other portions of the city through his through the civil engineering firm that he works for. I have a few upcoming events over the next few weeks, but one that I am especially looking forward to, which is I'm calling the end of summer celebration. It's at the end of the month, and I encourage anyone that's interested in learning more about this activity and any others to please go to our community website where you can pick up the newsletter, and that website is www.cpward3.com. That is CPWARD3.com. And last but not least, it always amazes me how at times we can contradict ourselves on why we are really here. But it is still my belief that we will get to a point where we are working together to do what's right for the citizens and not ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Councilmember Gay?
I'm going to use my time to make a motion that we enter into executive session for purpose of legal, real estate, and personnel.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Why? We don't have anything posted, and I haven't gotten any information.
We're in the middle of the vote.
Okay, Councilmember Gay said that I could talk after everyone was finished talking, and then you take a vote, a motion. And so at this point, we got an email earlier on this evening that we were doing 2 interviews for city manager finalists that neither I nor Councilmember Arnold had any notice of. And it really calls into question the process itself and the level of communication, because it was my understanding we were doing finalist interviews on this weekend, on Saturday. So, yeah, no, they're gone. So we don't have anybody to take a vote. We've lost a quorum.
I want to make note that, it seems like every time I have to go to the restroom, I left the room, I'm not leaving the meeting, I have to go to the restroom.
All right.
Are we voting? Are we voting?
We don't have a quorum to vote because Councilmember Arnold has to take a comfort break. I'm deeply, deeply concerned about process here. Deeply concerned about process. We are supposed to be looking for the best person to fill the seat to run this city. And 40% of this body did not know that we were doing interviews this evening. It's deeply, deeply troubling. And I'm not certain why we are going through this process in this manner, because I do believe, as I've said to folks throughout this city, that the community should be participating in this process. I don't want to think that the fix is in on this, because I think that you deserve, as a city, to have a person who is the best qualified to run this community. but you haven't been apprised of that. Myself and Councilmember Arnold just found out that we were doing Zoom interviews for apparently 2 of the 3 finalists. And you can do an open records request and find out the finalists, because you're entitled to that when you get down to 3. But I've got serious questions about the process. It's unfortunate, because we should be transparent, and I think we've missed that opportunity. But we don't have a quorum, so we can't go into executive session. So if we can't do anything other than that, I'm going to adjourn the meeting.
Mayor, the 2 council members are in the restroom. They'll be back, so we can go into executive session.
We don't have anybody to vote. Councilmember Arnold.
I'd like to make a, I guess we can't even, I was
Can't.
gonna say we take a break, but we
There are
can't do
2
that.
members in the restroom. They'll be back so that we can vote and go into executive session.
Meeting's adjourned.
Point of order, the meeting.
When
is not
we've
adjourned.
approved the agenda, so the meeting's adjourned.
City Attorney, Councilwoman Arnold was very clear that she was leaving to use the restroom and was returning. So can the meeting be adjourned under those circumstances? Here she's back now.
Mayor, meeting's adjourned,
How can the meeting be adjourned?
because I adjourned it.
Council,
I'll make a
is this
motion
a
that-
violation of the Open Meetings Act? Because Councilwoman Arnold left saying she was going to the restroom and would be back.
Yes, we have a quorum. Councilwoman Arnold
The meeting has been adjourned.
Councilwoman Arnold indicated that she was going to the restroom. She made it specifically clear that she was not leaving, but rather that she was only stepping out to go to the restroom.
Yes.
She's now back. We have a quorum.
I make
I
a motion
understand,
that
but
we
the
go into
motion- I have
executive
adjourned the
session.
meeting.
Okay.
I have adjourned the meeting.
I make a
And
motion that
is,
we,
council member, I've adjourned the meeting because we adopted an agenda.
it has executive session on it, right here. Item number 13. I make a motion, we go into executive session.
The meeting has been adjourned, sir.
We have-
Understood. Again, point of order. I make, Councilmember Gay made the motion.
And so Councilwoman Arnold went to the restroom and the mayor's trying to.
She's trying to adjourn the meeting. Well, I have to make the motion. Okay, make the motion. Mayor Pro Tem, are we back in order here?
This meeting is back in order with Councilmember Arnold, Cohen, and McKenzie.
City Attorney, are we legal?
Yeah, Councilwoman, just for the record, Councilwoman Arnold stated that she was stepping out to go to the restroom. She made it specifically clear that she was not leaving, but rather she was merely stepping out to go to the restroom. She returned, we had a quorum, and so the meeting can proceed.
With that, I'll make a motion that we go into executive session for personnel litigation, and we don't have any real estate on there. All right, that's my motion.
Second.
Motion second.
Do you have to, discussion?
Any discussion? Motion carries.
No, you gotta call for the vote.
Call for the
You gotta call for the vote. Those in favor?
The vote carries with.
No, we haven't voted yet. You have to call.
Is there a motion to
We
enter
made a
into
motion,
executive
a
session?
second, no discussion. Now you have to call for the vote.
In favor and opposed?
Those in favor?
Those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain?
Aye.
Abstain?
Yep.
McKenzie, Corn, and Gay, favor. Arnold, abstain. Motion carries. Executive session.
But technically, it's just 2 yeses because you.
There's 2 yeses, still carry.
I just want to make sure we're right. I'm just not
It's
trying to be
still carried.
funny.
For the record,
Just make
Ms.
sure we're
Clerk,
accurate.
motion carries with Arnold and McKenzie.
Sir, I believe that it was
Carn
Carn
and
and McKenzie and Councilwoman Arnold
Abstain.
abstained. I got you.